rockin' and keep knockin'. Whether you Louis Vuitton it up or Reebokin. You see the hate that they're serving on a platter, so what we gonna have? Dessert or disaster? That was Kanye West speaking about the company that we'll be presenting on today, Louis Vuitton, Moet Hennessy, or LVMH as we will be calling it today. Good afternoon, investors. My name is Emily Burns. This is Janie Marone. After extensive research on LVMH, we're here hopefully to tell you something about the company that maybe you didn't know before by covering acquisitions of the company, their financials, and a little bit about their future, and some of their CSR goals. So now I'm going to pass it over to Janie so she can tell you about their acquisitions.
So LVMH began through a merger between Louis Vuitton and Moet Hennessy in 1987 for $4 billion. Moet Hennessy was kind of in a bit of financial trouble, and Louis Vuitton offered them the $4 billion and they merged, and since then they have grown to represent 70 luxury brands across 5 and more industries. As of this past fiscal year, according to our annual report, the revenue closed out to 35.7 billion euros, and the operating profit from this was 6 billion. And so this is kind of a little map that shows all the brands represent. So under fashion and leather goods, there are all of those brands, wines and spirits, selective retailing such as Sephora, watches and jewelry, perfumes and cosmetics. And currently, LVMH owns a majority stake in Dior with 40%, and we are trying to own the most stake in Hermes, but we're having a bit of problem with that, but that's one of the directions we're trying to head in. And so this comes directly from the report that was just released yesterday about our financials. And so it basically, this one over here breaks down the revenue by business group. And so if you can see, even though we're in fashion, perfumes, watches, retailing, and everything else, fashion and leather goods still lead the way and bring in the most revenue. And perfumes and cosmetics come in second. And as for our operations, it's the same thing, except wines and spirits bring in the second most profit. And you can see our growth in comparison to our fiscal year that closed in 2014. And our new direction. So LVMH leads in luxury brands and retail in Europe and Asia, but it does not have the strongest hold in the Americas and North and Central America. So last month, on January 5th, LVMH and Group Arnault, which is the group created by the CEO of LVMH, entered into an agreement with Catterton to create L. Catterton. And so their goal is to create the largest private equity firm to control and enter the markets in, like I said, Latin America and North America. And so Catterton is going to own 60% of the new firm, Catterton L, and LVMH is going to own 40%, but it's going to divide that share with Group Arnault. And the expected growth after closing out deals and payouts are $12 billion. And so Emily's going to talk about our corporate social responsibility.
So LVMH kind of divides their CSR activities into 5 main points: art and culture, the environment, social responsibility, the economic footprint, and corporate philanthropy. As far as art and culture go, the CEO of LVMH, Bernard Arnault, said specifically that art and culture was at the heart of their business model. And in this vein, the Fondation Louis Vuitton, I'm hoping I'm saying that right. They are located in Paris in this beautiful building that was designed by famed architect Frank Gehry, which I'm sure you can tell, all of his buildings look like this. Their main purpose is to support French and international artists, growing and current. On the environmental front, LVMH has created a 5-point environmental charter to show how they're going to promote environmental needs. One of those points is that they're committed to renewable energies. Tag Heuer, one of the subsidiaries of LVMH, recently switched over to solar power, and they've installed one of the largest solar grids in the world to power their facility. Briefly on the other 3 points, on social responsibility, LVMH has signed the UN Women's Empowerment Principles, which basically ensure equality at all levels of the company, even up to the highest. On economic footprint, LVMH is committed to producing luxury goods at the highest quality, which works to create more jobs. And under corporate philanthropy, LVMH sort of has a utilitarian standpoint. They're trying to help the most amount of people possible. So today, hopefully, I've told you a little bit about LVMH that you didn't already know. Janie told you a little bit about the acquisitions, including the different luxury industries in fashion, alcohol, and cosmetics. She also told you about the financials and future directions, including the merger with L. Catterton. And I told you a little bit about the corporate social responsibility scheme, including the Fondation Louis Vuitton. I'd like to thank all of you for being here today and see if there are any questions.